So, can you take your side hustle and turn it into a full time gig? Well, of course you can. As I continue my series on why haven't you started your own business, I have a great couple here who's going to tell you how they've taken their side hustle, sprinkle a little bit of spirituality in it, and they've turned it into a full time gig. I'm CLM2 for With Power, the channel that helps find the power within you.
He's giving me power, all power, all power.
Hey, happy Monday, everyone. We hope everyone out there had a fantastic week. And once again, we continue the series on why haven't you started your own business as we talk about turning side hustles into full time gigs. Well, I have a special guest here, the person who has taught me a great deal over the years, who has mentored me. We've been buddies for a long, long time. And he's sitting with his lovely wife, who's also very entrepreneurial. But what's great about their business is that it's very spiritual. And they talk a little bit about the spiritual aspect of their business and how it all ties together. Let's take a look. Hey, how are you out there? So listen, I have the pleasure of having another beautiful couple here who are into business. As I continue my journey on why haven't you started your own business, and taking your side hustle to full time. So I have the pleasure of having the guy who kind of mentored me through all these years. In this whole business aspect and this entrepreneurship. We met years ago, and at that time, we both was into the music industry. We both was doing our own business in music. I had my own production company. He had his own production company. He was a performer. I was a performer, and we was just kind of building at that time. We met actually, Tom, I think we met at a conference, right? Wasn't it a musical conference or something?
Yeah, I think was it Jack the Rapper?
Oh, it could have been Jack the Rapper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We both were showcasing artists. So we met there, and then 3 or 4 years later, C. Thomas gave me a phone call, and he recruited me to be a part of his team. And that's how we started our entrepreneurship partnership together. It's just been a great journey. We've done a lot of different things together. This man has mentored me personally. He's mentored me in the business world. He's mentored me with personal development. So I owe a lot to him. And it's just been an incredible journey. But C. Thomas is one of these people who he's taken his side gig. When I met him, he was on Wall Street, making a lot of money. And he took his side hustle, and he actually left Wall Street a few times and, and went full time in his entrepreneurship. So that's C. Thomas. And right next to him is his lovely wife, Shamira, who's also very entrepreneurial. And so that's so nice, Shamira, I'll tell you some stories about when I met him. That wasn't happening. Okay, so he has definitely found the way. He has found the point. So let's start with you, C. Thomas. Let's kind of go a little bit with your journey on how you decided that you wanted to take your side hustles and just make it a full-time gig.
Well, first, I have to say, Mr. Clifford L. Marshall, is definitely someone I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And I think we kind of mentored each other. We had our strengths and our areas of improvement, and you got me out of them jeans and them sneakers, helped me to get my style together, style with power. Even before the brand, you was always like sharp and just kind of on point. So I was watching you as you were watching me. And, greatly, appreciate your energy, your passion for life and business. And, we went to Tampa and for 6 weeks, built tremendous business and had a tremendous opportunity, to build a friendship, on top of the business relationship. So I just want to thank you for, having us out to discuss this. And my journey from a standpoint of entrepreneurship, has always been one of, I really always wanted a desk job. I used to watch Barnaby Jones with my grandmother, and I watched all of these shows, the cop shows. Everybody's behind a desk, everybody was sitting at a desk. Marcus Welby, MD, and I always said to her, I want a desk job, Grandma. I don't want no I don't want no job where you got to work out in the sun because my uncle had me cutting grass in Tampa, Florida, 99 degrees. You know, if you know anything about the summer hustling, you know, cutting grass, boy, you work. That's hard work out in the sun. So from a young age, I always wanted to, you know, have my own business and to be the boss, I guess, so to speak. So I took that, you know, that journey that we all take as far as education, you know, high school, college, you know, academics, and took that onto Wall Street where I worked for 7 years as a software engineer. And that's when we met. You know, I was kind of doing the business as a side hustle as far as the music business. But then, you know, I was working as a software engineer, programming accounting systems, you know, for investment banks. And those environments were, you know, rewarding from a financial standpoint. And I did learn a lot, you know, as well, but it was just not like feeding my spirit. So one of the things that I always wanted to do was to be able to help people. And the business that we worked together, we were helping people to save money, but we were also doing training and coaching and helping people with personal development and growth. And I basically, you know, through that process, I actually found my passion as it relates to coaching. You know, as happens on Wall Street periodically, because, you know, the market goes up and down or whatever, they had these things, what they call downsize, right size, sunset. They had all these funny names, you know, we're going to sunset your position. I was like, fantastic, just write the check. I don't care what you call it. As long as the money is right, you know, you're going to pay me not to come to work, right? Because you done made me agree to come work for you. Now you don't want me to work for you anymore. Now you got to pay me for that. So I had the great fortune of actually being in situations where significant amount of money and like one checks, you know, 12 weeks severance, all these crazy packages. And that's basically when I launched out, you know, on my own, because I actually got tired of that cycle, because it is definitely a cycle. And I started my seminar business and coaching and consulting business. And it's been 21 years. Wow. 20, yeah, going to the 21st year, actually next month. Really excited. And in that same business, I had the great fortune of meeting this young lady. And we actually years later kind of reconnected. And now we're 7 years married, you know, so
I was about to ask you, yeah. So I was about to go into that story. So how did y'all two met? So let's hear from Shamira. Shamira, how did you remember meeting C. Thomas?
So initially, I remembered his name, but not necessarily meeting him. And so years later, when we reconnected, actually it was through social media. And I'm what folks call a social media snob. If I do not know you, like personally, if I've never met you personally in my life, you will not be part of my social media life. And so when I got this friend request, I was like, but it was from a mutual friend. It was Barry.
Barry White.
So Barry kept like sending me all these, oh, you know this person, because we were all in the same business together. And so I was like, okay. And then I asked my sister, because my sister was also in the business. I was like, hey, you remember this guy? And she's like, oh yeah, I remember him. Right. So I was like, okay, fine. It was safe. So I thought, right? So I accepted the friend request. And then, you know, he just kind of here and there would say things, but I guess how he got my attention, he was very active, I guess, kind of like on my page and seeing the things that I was doing. And one of the events, I was kind of co-hosting a speed dating event or fundraiser. It was a fundraiser for my sorority. I was co-hosting that at actually, a friend's establishment in Brooklyn. And then he sent me a message.
Yeah, I put the macaroni on her. You know what I mean? I said, how about a slow date?
Nice.
Yeah. So we went out. Well, we actually went to a Bible study. That was the date. We went to a Bible study and dinner. And then we just kind of stayed friends for a while, for a few years.
Yeah.
For a few years, and then we started to date. He kind of knew, like, that
my woman.
Yeah, but I had him in a zone.
Friend, she had me in the friend zone. I was a friend.
But he busted out.
You can't keep me in there. Come
Yeah,
on.
he busted out. And so, here we are.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Here
And
we
you
are.
know, one of the things I know from C. Thomas, and I'm assuming it's the same with you, Shamir, but you just mentioned it. You guys have actually, you make sure you keep spirituality within your businesses. So just kind of explain, where that comes from and why, you think it's essential for people to understand that spirituality is a part of your business.
Well, as a person, as a being, we have different aspects to us, and sometimes people leave the spiritual part out. But the spiritual is the foundation of everything. Without the spirit, there is no physical, right? There's no mental, emotional, or financial aspects, to our being, because it all started, with spirit. So as a foundation of, running, say, an ethical business, a business that has integrity, because in the marketplace, as I was coaching individuals, I noticed that the people that were like grounded spiritually, they moved a little quicker. They moved a little different than people that were just kind of out there, kind of doing maybe unethical business, or they're right in the gray area of how they were running their business. So one of the things that I always wanted to make sure that there was a spiritual component to the coaching that I did, and that made it like a 360-degree holistic approach to developing business versus just the income and the outgoing expenses, the technical aspects. In addition to the technical aspects of the business, it was like, hey, what's your mindset? How is your spirit centered? Are you physically fit, to pursue this endeavor that you're going after? And how are your relationships with the people that you're attempting to, help or provide resources for, right? Because it makes no sense to make a lot of money and then nobody likes you because you ignored them in the process of making money, or make a lot of money and then you're paying the doctors all the money that you earned because you're not healthy. So the holistic approach, also includes like the spiritual aspect, from a ministry in a secular, in a secular setting, like we call marketplace ministry, right? It's ministry outside of the brick and mortar church, and the pastor standing in front. It's like we all are ministers, and we can minister to individuals. We don't have to smack them upside the head with the Bible, right, or the Quran, or the Bhagavad Gita, or whatever the holy scripture is. But we can be a living epistle, for people, and then also communicate those spiritual laws as we are, talking about business and developing business from that perspective.
That's great. So Shamira, talk a little bit about the importance of, just having a partner, especially a partner who is, a loving partner, and how that kind of, just kind of helps, people in their business endeavors.
It's extremely important. It's crucial. And I think that that partnership is what really is the springboard to really move forward and be successful, right? If you look at any research about like millionaires, a lot of the most successful ones are married, right? And they will tell you that that support is critical. Now, of course, all of them are not married, but people tend to, if you're in a relationship, especially a marriage covenant, you will be stronger, you will go further, and you will go faster, right? If that other part, that other half of the entity is in support of what it is that you're doing and what you're striving for. If they are not, you're gonna crash and burn, because you're fighting to be the best, be on top, but then you're also fighting against this other person, this entity that's not really pulling for you. So it's critical because, they say charity starts at home. Everything starts in the home. And so if you don't have support there with your significant other, it's going to be very difficult to succeed. I'm not saying that people don't do it and people can't do it, but it's a lot easier when you're on one accord.
No, that's
no doubt. And just to piggyback on that, Dennis Kimbro, he wrote the book Black Wealth. Mm-hmm. And his number one indicator for success is the choice of your spouse. Mm. And I thought that was very interesting, in him doing the research and kind of coming to that conclusion, because, he talked to a lot of people. And that was the thing that he found, because you have people that are in a relationship with someone that normally they started that relationship in their 20s or 30s, but then the average millionaire is like 56, 57 years old. So you're now talking about a long-term relationship that's been the foundation for success, 20, 30 years, into the future.
Wow, that's great. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about your businesses. So let's start with UC Thomas. Let's get some names, and because I know you have.
All right, let me see. Got one of the brands right there. Well, I have my coaching business started out really as a seminar business. We were doing seminars, and initially started out commercial business to customer, B2C. And then I had a great mentor, a gentleman by the name of David Allen. And he said, you probably should tweak that a little bit and go B2B, where now your customers are coming from organizations that have already gathered your customers. Now you don't have to go gather them. So then we started doing seminars for, organizations and things like that. And then it kind of morphed more so into like a coaching and consulting. So the current, form of the business now is actually, it's called Prep to Own Education. And what we're doing is working with business owners that are aspiring business owners. They could already be in business, and not having, much success, or maybe they've been in business 5 or more years and they're looking to kind of retool or re-engineer what they're doing. So it's really about preparation for ownership. And a lot of people feel that money is the thing that stops people from having success, financing, people being able to get a loan. But that's really not it. The thing that stops people from succeeding in business is actually business acumen, right? They don't understand how to make decisions as it relates to business, as it relates to marketing, as it relates to operations, as it relates to all of these different areas that you need in place, and the systems that you need in place in order to run the business. So the Prep to Own process is really preparing people from a business acumen standpoint. And again, it's holistic. So we talk about health, we talk about finances and credit profiles, in addition to business systems, so that people really understand that, you need energy to succeed, you need resources, you need a team. And in addition to being technically sound, you also have to be you have to understand business, right? Just because you can bake a cake doesn't mean that you can open a bakery, right? So that's a simple way to kind of think about it. So some people are very technically sound. I can make a great cake, but hey, if I'm going to have a bakery, somebody has to open up. I need somebody to cash register. I need somebody buying supplies. I need marketing. I need social media. There's a whole bunch that goes into having a bakery, right? I need accountants. I need lawyers. You have to have somebody build out the space, right? So there's a lot more involved than just putting some ingredients together, putting it in the oven, and selling it during Thanksgiving, to your friends, from that perspective.
Now, I know you also, you wrote a book, which I think is it's important. Tell us about the book you wrote.
Yeah, so the book is Success on God's Terms, and it comes out of that concept of making sure that the spiritual aspect is involved in business activities, business development. And it's really a business primer that's supported by Christian scripture. And it doesn't matter what your faith is, you will read that book and understand, how spiritual laws impact, natural laws, and how that can be included in your business activities to make sure that you are operating in integrity and doing it in a way that creates win-win-win situations, right? So win for you, win for customers, win for vendors, anyone associated with your business, everyone has an opportunity to win, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a competition or I'm trying to penny pinch you to the last penny to make sure I'm getting a great deal. You can always create win-win scenario. So the book is available at our website, successongodsterms.com. You can't find it on other venues like Barnes and Noble and Amazon, but we prefer for you to buy it from Success, successongodterm.com, because we make more money.
So okay, so we got Prep to Own and successongodsterm.com, and I'll have both of those in the description and also
Okay.
themselves. So Shamira, let's talk
Yes,
about
sir.
let's talk about what you're doing right now.
So what I'm doing right now, I am what you would call a spiritual lifestyle coach for women. And basically, and I think C. Thomas touched upon that in what he was saying, right? Your spiritual lifestyle is really just your life. And I focus on things, it's biblically based, and everything is really about doing things from a foundation of faith, because we're all beings that believe in something, right? So even if you're an atheist, you believe that God does not exist. Everybody believes in something, right? And so everybody has faith in something. So I teach women how to do things by faith, but most importantly, how to build up what I call their God confidence and recognize who they are. There's a lot of talk about manifesting things and attracting things, but the reality is, if you don't know what it is that you are entitled to as a spiritual person, as a spiritual being, and walk in that privilege, then you're not going to attract or manifest anything. So I really boil that down. You know, I work with women around finances. I work with women around that whole God confidence piece and really putting things into place so that they can actually live their best lives.
Yes.
And so do you have a website also? Or?
Absolutely. It's 31modes.com. You can read about, I do a lot of challenges with women, ebooks, all that good stuff on 31modes.com.
Okay, great. And I'll have that definitely in the description also. So listen, you guys were great. I knew you were going to be great. And I really, really appreciate you doing this. So listen, folks out there, I'm going to give you their information. You can definitely reach out to them. Both of them are in the business of helping people. And if you're out there and you feel like you can use their type of help, I definitely recommend you go to their websites and you check them out. And C. Thomas is teaching individuals how to start their own business. And Shamira is teaching, she's focusing on women, but I'm assuming, Shamira, that if a man contact you, you'll give him some advice at least.
Absolutely.
Send them to your husband. Yeah, so they definitely are there to help both you guys and help you people out there. So you definitely want to check them out. Thank you again for this, and I really, really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it. C. Thomas and his lovely wife, Shamira, and they have done great things and are continuously building and building. But if you notice, spirituality was kind of deep down number one in creating their businesses. And then, of course, they want to help people. They're in the business of helping others. So if you would like to reach out to them, I've put their information in the description, and also you've seen it throughout the video. And reach out to them. They're not only helping individuals start their own businesses, but they're also helping individuals learn the aspects of what it takes to own a business. And also they sprinkle a little bit of that spirituality in there so that you'll understand that being grounded spiritually can definitely elevate you to a new level in business. So don't forget, download my free ebook that talks about starting 21 money-making businesses that you can start in 2021, and you can download that for free at my website right here. So go ahead and get yourself a free copy of that book. I think it will definitely help you, and if it doesn't help you, it would definitely help someone that you know. Also, if you like the content, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit that little notification bell so you know every time we upload a video, and if you're on Facebook, give me a like. And if you're on Instagram, give me a like. And listen, I will see you next time.